Hello everybody and welcome to the Toku Portal podcast for Uchuu Sentai KyuuRanger. I am Vashi V and joining me today are...
Dedicate.
Little King?
Rye.
And today we're talking about Uchuu Sentai KyuuRanger episode 34. So after the opening, we get a recap from Stinger. Akyamba activates the champ-like robot that we saw at the end of last episode. And then we get the episode title, Space 34, The Mystery Masked Warrior Appears. On the Battle Orion ship, Naga asks Balance to look inside his head for the exact location of Don Armage. Naga is put to sleep, Balance shrinks himself and jumps inside his head. Stinger wonders where Champ is, but then the ship gets attacked by Kukuruga blasting from Earth. As soon as they show up to intercept him, a Champ bot arrives and instantly attacks. Spada and Hami are injured dodging the blast. A robot that looks like Oshi Black with a champion belt and wrestling mask, as well as a burnt jacket to hide his blaster, arrives to join the fight. And he sounds just like Champ. Black says his name is Yagyu Jubei, however. Garu believes him, but everyone else is skeptical. So yeah, thoughts so far.
The whole time this scene was going on, I was just loving Show the whole time. Like, when Naga and Bounce were talking about looking in Naga's head for the information, Show... I remembered what happened, but I like that Show basically copied the reaction of some of the audience. It's like, wait, we can do that? And him, like, asking Raptor, that is Champ, right? Just, I don't know, he was good this time. I liked I know the bit with everybody knowing it's Champ except for Gato, and Champ faking it the whole time is a little on the kiddish side, but I did like it. It was really funny. And I gotta admit, he does look good like that. I mean, the mask looks cool. I like the belts and the covering the symbol. I thought the jacket was a nice touch. I don't know, it was just fun.
I do like that Shoranpo asked, wait, we can do that? Because he wasn't there when they first did it. Just a little, like, continuity thing that I'm glad they added in. And yeah, I agree. I just was smiling so much when Sho turned to Raptor. That's Champ, right? It's Champ. Now, as for figuring out that that's Champ, he's wearing the Oshi Black suit. Like, how would anyone that besides Champ have that? And he has his fucking Q whatever shit on his arm. Like, the idea that Garu believed him when he said, I'm not Champ, is a little absurd. Especially since he keeps fucking up when he's trying to talk differently. Like, between saying Ore and Boku. It's...
Somebody did not take lessons from Emo and Parado on talking. Fucking... Just this whole fucking playthrough with Champ, it was fantastic. Number one, first and foremost, I fucking loved it. I have fundamental issues from, I guess, a species standpoint for why Garu should have never fucking questioned any of this. He's a goddamn wolf. Keen sense of smell. He should be able to tell that it's not been 3,000 years for Garu. It's been like a week. Know what Champ sounds like. I get, as I was talking with King about it the other day, I get the whole time difference for, like, dogs and stuff like that, but it was literally just, like, a couple of weeks for him. That throws me off, but I did like the play for it. The fact that literally everyone went, that's Champ. Like, nobody questioned it. It's just, yeah, that's Champ. And Champ just continuing to be, you know, I'm fooling them. I am a great robot. That was awesome.
I'm just imagining, like, Champ inside his head, like, they believe me!
Fair warning, I've tried long and hard before this podcast to figure out a way to defend those two. But as you probably guessed, that's gonna be a little bit difficult this time. So I'm not gonna waste my breath.
Like, with a lot of the other odd shit that's happened in this series, like, we can come up with, you know, very good logical reasons for stuff that's happened. Even stuff that's not been, you know, expressly covered. But, like this, there's no explanation for why Garu would forget who the fuck Champ is. And what he looks like transformed. Is literally the only thing. There's three things that... There's, like, three things that are different.
Garu didn't forget what he looked like. Garu actively keeps saying, "Wow, you look like Champ. Are you Champ? No? Oh, I guess you're not, but you look just like Champ."
Garu's an idiot. No, hey, wait, no wonder he followed Lucky at the beginning. And on that note, we can move on.
Sorry to all Garu fans.
Let's see. So, yeah, Garu believes him. Everyone's skeptical. He uses his Seiza Blaster, though, to attack the Champ bot, revealing his true form. And Kukuruga says that he's basically a destructive weapon developed by Dark Matter Type 0. Or Unit 0, whatever. Kotaro, Hami, and Spada retreat while the others change and fight. During the fight, Champ malfunctions and goes berserk, attacking Stinger and Garu. Tsurugi and Lucky retreat from Kukuruga as well because his ability to absorb their finishers and send them back is pretty damn strong. After Champ calms down, he tells the Rangers to stay out of his fight with Unit 0. Stinger reports to the others that he'll deal with the stubborn Champ. Tsurugi is concerned that Dark Matter made Champ's prototype. I'll just go ahead and blow through this. Stinger asks Champ about Champ. He tells Stinger that Anton underwent many surgeries to extend his life, but Champ still didn't get to meet him. However, he did learn that Anton was indeed a dark matter scientist, like Scorpio briefly said. Champ thinks the Berserk mode is proof that he was not built for justice. It's obvious that the Master Robot is Champ, but not to Garu. He just keeps saying, "Oh, you look like Champ." And he believes him whenever he says, "I'm not Champ." Stinger thinks that the Berserk mode reactivated because of his death by Scorpio. He tells Stinger that he has no right to fight with the Rangers. Garu tells the robot to tell Champ that they believe in his justice and that he should rely on them. Kukuruga and Zero show up and attack. So, before I go on, what did you guys think?
Like I said, I won't waste my breath with Garu because that is a fight I know I am not prepared to win. Champ, on the other hand, I actually understand why he did this whole secret identity thing, poor though it may have been. Because it was his version of hiding his shame, I guess. Like, he believed pretty much his whole life that he was built for justice. He said it time and time again. Hell, his main description when they introduced him was he was built specifically to fight Jack Matter. So I can see how that'd really just be a punch in the gut for him. And, you know, using the Berserker mode as proof, and I can, like Stinger said, I can see where it's coming from, like the battle. But I like that we're getting some repercussion from all this. from both the time traveling and from that whole mess with Scorpio, because I mean, none of us knew that there were going to be any. We honestly didn't even know if Champ was going to come back. It was a miracle he did. And you know, I mean, that combined with this, I think had some interesting feedback. So I'm looking forward to seeing where that's going, and I liked where they went with it, despite all the gags and everything. And I liked Stinger playing along after it's like, I know Garu may be that dumb, but not Stinger. What's going on here? So yeah, it was cool.
I feel for Champ. Like, he finds out he was supposed to be an evil robot, and he feels like if his friends found out, he can't even look them in the eyes. Like, on terms of Garo, though, this is where I started to suspect, like, maybe Garo's playing the long game. Maybe he's just actively playing along here. We later find out he isn't, which makes me question how he got this far. But for Champ, I can see, like, how he wouldn't understand, like, what would they think if they knew I was supposed to be evil? Would they no longer trust me? That kind of thing.
Like, I mean, it's for Champ was great, and emotionally it was phenomenal. Because, like you said, it's basically him going, you know, here's this preconceived idea that I have that he's had since the start of the series. He was built for justice, only to find out that no, he was actually there to basically fight against the KyuuRangers. So for him to find that, it is kind of crushing, and it is that play of I can't with you guys because I'm unworthy to because of all this. Which that entire setup with where Garu basically told him to explain everything to Champ made me think that Garu was playing the long game. That he had figured it out and he was just, you know, tell Champ, you know, I'm really telling you, but tell Champ, you know, and playing along. That's what it felt like. And to find out that he wasn't was actually very disappointing. But yeah, I mean, it was just heart-wrenching a little bit for Champ. Though he is apparently the Clark Kent of this universe. Yeah, his disguise is about as good as Clark Kent's. I made a Superman reference, yay.
Awesome. So let's see. Yeah, after getting knocked out of his form, Stinger scolds Champ for pushing them away and tells him that basically he's a hypocrite because he told Stinger the same thing. And that regardless of who made him, that everyone believes in his justice. So he should too. Lucky, Tsurugi, and Kotaro join. Champ reveals that he is Champ. Garu is shocked, but no one else was surprised. The Rangers star change and roll call. And then, yeah, two Morai Mazu Robo show up. And then we get to see Battle Orion Ship's new ability, which is not really that important, but it's kind of neat. It basically just launches the Voyagers out. I guess you can do like 3 at a time. And so, yeah, Hami and Spada take off in their Voyagers and form Ryuteo and get the big mech battle. And then during the fight, Lucky transforms into Shishi Orion, and using the power of Lucky, I guess, he actually fires so much that it overloads Kukuruga's arm, I guess, his absorbing arm. Well, no, it doesn't. I mean, only for a second. I'm not wording this very well, but Kotaro and Tsurugi attack in that second and pretty much disable his overpowered arm. And then they turn giant. We get Ryuteo, Kyureno, and Ho-Oh. Oh, Gigant Ho-Oh. And freaking Orion Battler. Yeah, we got all the mechs together. And they pretty much just destroy the Type 0 and Kukuruka. Yeah, he does. And yeah, I'll stop there. Any thoughts?
Alright, I'll try to make this fast. I loved Stinger's speech. I thought it was really a milestone for him, and it was a really sweet moment. I love Garu's reaction, and just it was perfect facepalm material. I can't fault that. I love the idea of during the fight overloading Kukuruga's arm. I thought that was really clever. The fight with the Proto Champ, I forgot to say, I love his design. It looks so awesome. And it was a good fight, nonetheless. The mech fight, can I just say, I am loving the Battle Rhine ship more and more. Because, one, I'm loving the effect of, like, shooting off ships, like on the pilot deck. I don't know what it's called. Just the way they did that with Hammy and Spotazords I thought was cool. I'm loving Orion and Battler more and more. And now we can't have people complain about the cannon finisher anymore, because now we technically do have that. It's just the mechs. And I love that. They are going all out with that. And I am so happy with that. All in all, I had a lot of fun with this.
Stinger's whole, like, who was it that said don't do this all on your own speech was glorious. Taking what Champ taught him and putting it back at him. It was really beautiful. And it's very clear in that moment that, like, Stinger's not talking to the mask. He's talking to Champ. You'd have to be not paying attention to not get that he is talking to Champ there. And yet Garo still comes up like, yeah, tell that to Champ for us. You have, like, at that point I was like, okay, Garo has to know. He has to be joking, right? He wasn't. And he is so shocked to learn that that is actually Champ. And thought that Stinger also thought it was him. It is baffling how Garo was paying attention the entire time and didn't catch on. But that aside, the fight scene was decent. It was just kind of flashy, though. As for the new, like, mech cannon setup, it's not bad. It's just, it kind of reminds me of how, like, Sentai usually have, like, that whole team attack on the ground thing, where Red will hold the weapon and then everyone else puts, like, their arm on his shoulder, like they're feeding him his energy. It reminded me of that, but in the mechs. So that was pretty neat, and it was kind of like a good little homage to that. I'm just wondering, though, does this count as, like, the all-together mech form here?
I hope it doesn't. I mean, I can understand if it does, but I really hope it doesn't. The speech with Stinger was phenomenal, and it did bring that entire circle with them. Because it started out with Stinger being very gung-ho to do everything on his own, and Champ basically did the whole, you don't have to do this on your own. So for that to get turned back around on Champ, I mean, it makes sense, and it works very, very well. It was very emotional and very well acted by Stinger. Garu is a goddamn idiot. There's no other way I can put that. By that point, it was extremely obvious that it was Champ. I will admit, through all this, because this is where where he removes the mask and all that. My initial thought was that he was untransformed because I kind of forgot what he looked like for a second.
Don't
So
feel
I'm sitting
too
there-
bad. I did at first too, and then it was a random scene that I looked at him and went, "No, wait, isn't that his transformed suit?"
I literally didn't realize that until he pulled the mask off. Because I was waiting for them to do the little comic book thing where his face expands. And then it's like, oh wait, no, he's transformed. Oh wait, that makes more sense. And then I was like, wait, yeah, that does make more sense because he looks the correct. He looks transformed. I was like, yeah, how did I not catch that?
I was still
But I still-
expecting to see his normal face pop out, though.
No. While that is normal and dumb of me, it is not as dumb as Garu because I at least knew it was Champ. But yeah, I mean, it's still the only part of that that irritated me was that he did detransform just to transform again. I get why they did it, but it was just kind of one of those things that why you just wasted time. Go ahead.
So I just realized something. They had to not include Naga in this episode. They had to write him off at the beginning there by putting him to sleep. Because otherwise, Naga would have walked right up to his face and been like, "You are champ," and probably ripped off his mask then and there.
Yeah, I was thinking about that because yeah, that would have just,
Yeah.
or he would have just looked at the camera and went, "That's Champ," just like he's done with Show with every goddamn thing Show said. I did like the fact that they kept the gag of Raptor and Naga basically falling out of the seat when the Orion battleship stood up. I'm not entirely sold on the final canon, I guess you could call it, because well, yes, it's like a very good homage to like the old school Sentais because they've kind of the ball off that on that. Because I think GoKaiger was the last one to have one.
No, I want to say KyuuRanger had one, but I could be mistaken.
Tokuger did.
TokuRanger had?
Yeah,
oh, that's right.
TokuRanger
They
had
had
one.
the Imagine Cannon.
Yeah, the Imagine Cannon.
Yeah, I
No
want to
problem.
say KyuuRanger had one, but I might be wrong.
I think they just fired their guns. I think that's all that was.
What about Jew Order? Does that one count?
Jew Order number one.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
That's what I'm referring to. The Assemble one or the Gokai Galleon for GoKaiger.
True.
So it's a nice little homage. While it does freaking awesome for it being the mechs, it's unsettling to see because it's one of those things we're so used to seeing that, just people in the suit holding it. So it's a little unnerving when it's the mechs holding it, but it doesn't look too bad. Though I did like the way they did defeat on the ground, and it like the callback to Go Buster, where they defeated the monster on the ground and the mech in the background. I like that. That was a good little nod too. All in all, it's like I enjoyed all of this except for Garu's fucking idiocy.
Okay, but this is the most character development Garo has gotten since the episode where they put him in a dress.
This is true.
Like, I was telling King earlier, I didn't realize Garo was this dense, but this is because he has zero character.
It's like everything we know about him fits in like 2 episodes.
He has the least character development out of everyone, and he's had more episodes dedicated to him than Spada.
Like, I want to say the closest thing to character development they've had for Garu was the "Hey Lucky, quit being a jackass" speech.
They had that, and they had
Garo, to be honest.
in the episode where they put him in a dress. He also had his moment of "I'm not useless, I can do this."
Turns out he is useless. He doesn't recognize people.
Just hear me out. What about his level of tolerance? How about that? Because remember, he didn't give up. He hated Lucky, and yes, he got over that damn quick. But you know, his tolerance level grew a little bit with balance. I don't. I'm trying here, okay?
And I'm all for that. It's like, but he's had the least. I want to say he's had the least amount of character development.
I completely agree. He's had at least one episode dedicated to him. Spada has 0, and we have more character on Spada.
Spada had one.
Spada did have one?
Yeah, the one where he got all pissed off, them trying to, and the people were hungry.
That's right. And that was still more character development than Garo got in his own episode.
Kotaro's had more character development, and it happened off screen. And Kotaro's an asshole.
God,
was an asshole.
Yeah, that one scene where they're talking to Kotaro, and Kotaro's like, yeah, they brought in Champ's body. And, like, yeah, that was more character development for Kotaro than Garo has ever gotten.
Because he literally went from this undeserving little shit of a kid who... Well, basically, he was lucky. Basically, what he was. He didn't give a damn about anything. He just did his own thing. To, I'm going to pay attention, I'm going to suck shit up, and I'm going to do this the right way.
He's being sensible.
Yeah. It's like somebody took a belt to him while he was in that, those classes that he was taking to learn about the rebellion. Japan still spanks kids, don't they? I don't know.
Ooh.
I don't think so.
I mean, in North America, that's generally frowned upon and considered child abuse nowadays.
Yes, yeah, it is. Let me clarify. I do not condone it, but it was a thing, and it seemed to be effective.
I can hear the cops knocking on Vashi's door as we speak.
By far not the worst thing I could have said, but yeah, it's like Garu had no character development whatsoever, and from the way I look at this whole thing with Champ, is yes, it shows Garu missed Champ, but he also has no goddamn recollection of who Champ actually physically is, and there's no excuse for that. Even if you want to go for the fact of dogs being colorblind, which that's been scientifically proven not to be the case, but hey, let's run with that. It's fucking black and white. Champ is black. Wow, that sounds bad on the internet.
Hey Ray, Vashi, how many of these can you rack up in a single 10-minute period?
Can we move on before he gets arrested, please?
But I mean, I'm just trying to point out, it's like there's literally no possible excuse for Garu not recognizing that as Champ. At all.
A gag. They carried the gag through the episode, so we got that. But it's disappointing that this is what he's been relegated to.
Yeah, he's relegated to the gag role, and it's irritating. I guess that is my point.
So,
I am done.
Back on the ship, Naga sneezes out Balance. Balance tells everyone that he's found the location of Don Adamage. It's planet Southern Cross in the Southern Cross system. So, yeah, right in the middle. And now that they have the ship, they can go attack him. Champ gets up to tell everyone about the Berserk mode, but him, Stinger, and Garu decide to keep it a secret. And yeah, episode end.
Okay, so this one might work a little bit better. I like that Garu's joining a clique other than Lucky, because we've said before that there have been certain groups within the group, like the BN Thieves, the girls, Stinger and Colt, that all, Garu and Lucky, so on and so forth. So I like that they're mixing it up a little bit, letting Garu join in on the clique and keep things secret. I'm wondering how that's gonna bite them in the ass, but I guess we'll just have to find out. And hey, Champ gained another characteristic of a bull, so that's something. Let's see. I do like the little thing that he's smack in the Southern Cross system. It's like, okay, there's 5 different planets we can choose from, and it's the one smack in the middle. But about the preview for next week, I'm going to touch on that, but I want to wait till everybody's done talking. So, overall, I had it was a good ending in my opinion.
Yeah, it was an ending. This series is reaching its final arc, and I feel like that may have been the setup for it. Actually, no, next week we're getting a filler episode. An interesting one, though, because it's about Hame, and I want to see more about her, so... Oh, wait, but it's the obligatory, like, song episode. Whatever. In an episode or two, we're entering the final arc. Definitely, like, whenever they decide to actually go to the Southern Cross system. So, yeah, this series is going to be wrapping up. It's actually, like, shocking how far we've come. It's already been, like, what, 10 months?
Now, this was a decent ending. Though you can kind of point out that logistically they suck at any kind of independent thought because of, like, they know it's in the the Crux system, and that constellation. So it's like, hey, where is it? There's 5 planets to choose from in a cross. I'd pick the one in the center. And even still, you had 5 to pick from. How long would it have taken you to find out he's not on one planet and move to the next?
The things that make up the cross are stars, not planets. There could have been, like, any number of planets in that system.
Oh, I thought those were literally planets in it, so never mind.
Constellations are based off of stars.
Yeah, but
I would.
that stars mean planets too. Somewhat.
Oh,
My point is that, like, I'm sure that there were more than 5 planets in that system. Now, I don't know for a fact. Like, some scientists out there could be like, no, there's like 4 planets actually.
Okay, I can see your point though.
But all in all, it's like it. Yeah, never mind. You can disregard my comment. It was, yeah. Sorry.
Sorry about cutting you off, Brad, but I should probably say this now, as I kind of promised. You boys might want to take off your headphones, because I'm in for a fangirl moment. Okay, you guys good?
Shoot.
Ashley, you good?
I'm good.
Decade, you good?
I'm not good.
Alright, and to those listening, if you're listening to this with headphones, I suggest you take them off or turn your volume down. 3, 2. Oh my god, I can't wait for this next week. Freaking Hoshi Minato, I fucking love him. Oh my god, it's a singing episode. We're getting Hammy, we're getting Dark Naga. I cannot wait, and I am so fucking excited because I freaking love him so damn much. Okay, I'm good. Thank you.
Now, I know you're saying words. But with my headphones like a good 2 inches from my ears, I don't know what those words were other than next episode.
high pitched screeching.
That's why I warned you. That's why I warned you.
Yeah, your thoughts on that, Rye?
So it's like I said, it's the the song episode where we're gonna get our main characters to, sing a song because CD promotion. When was the last time we had one of these? Do we actually get one every year, or I don't think there was. No, okay.
Honestly, the last one I remember was in Double.
In terms of Sentai, the last one I remember was in KyuuRanger, which was the most recent one that I watched. I know there was one after that.
I know they throw character songs into the show, but you're talking about like the episode is dedicated to the song.
Yeah, like KyuuRanger had 2 episodes dedicated to singing.
Yeah, I would say the thing that comes close is the Ninja's the epilogue movie, yeah, where they have like the ninja girls. God, that show. Anyways, yeah, and it was all about their songs. Well, is Haruka's song? That's her name, right? I can't remember that show.
I don't know.
And Nagi had a song, but yeah, that was it. Not an episode.
Also, speaking of songs, one thing I noticed is that during one of the fight scenes in this episode... What?
Fuka is her name.
Oh.
Yeah, I remember now.
During one of the fight scenes this episode, they played the KyuuRanger opening theme, but they didn't play the first verse. They actually played, I believe, the middle verse. A weird detail that I noticed. With that, I guess we can move into final thoughts. Decade?
Yeah, overall I thought it was pretty fun. I thought it was nice that we kind of just blew through it, and I would be pretty disappointed if Anton, I mean, I'm pretty sure he still is around, or he put his brain into something, I don't know, but yeah, I mean, if he's making type zeros, yeah, we'll see about that. But I'm glad that they got Champ back on the team before that, and we'll have him for a while before shit gets serious again.
I've shattered your eardrums enough. So, it had some kinks, but I like this episode. Really want next week, though.
I enjoyed this episode overall with Champ's backstory and his character development, even though we spent a lot of time discussing Garo and his inability to meaningfully contribute to this series. A while back, I think I asked this during the podcast. At one point, I asked, if you could cut this team down to 6, who would you keep? I don't remember who I said, but if I said Garo on that list, I am taking him out. Like, after this episode, he has no right to be considered. He has done nothing. At the end of every Sentai series, I like to reflect on what each character's individual, finest moment was, what really defines them as their character and singles them out from the team, makes them unique. So far, Garo's finest moment was in this episode when he piggybacked off of something Stinger said and told Champ, don't worry, I can also keep you from going berserk. And it wasn't even his thing, though. He was just piggybacking off of Stinger. alternatively, before this episode, his finest moment was way back when they first got the Ikari Kyutama, and he had that moment where he had the rose in his mouth. Garo's not a good character.
Like, all in all, this episode was nice. It was nice to get the backstory for Champ on basically what he's been doing, which ultimately is his backstory to begin with. Fucking time travel, man. And it was nice to have, you know, the entire team back together to set up for the final arc. As far as the next episode is concerned, I just find it funny they quit naming him. This is what, the third series he's been in now, and they literally just stopped him. Yay. All in all, I'm looking forward to once the actual next arc starts. Like, filler episodes are nice, like, but at this point, this series is lacking, in my opinion, with dedicated stories. So I was like, I just want to get back to the story and see how well they can flesh out this final arc.
Thanks for joining us tonight, everyone. A bit of a shorter podcast, but there wasn't that much to say. So I'm going to take a minute to talk about an event going on this November. November 4th and November 5th, some friends of mine are doing a 48-hour charity live stream benefiting Children's Miracle Network hospitals. All donations are welcome. There should be a link in the description. If not, we'll add it in soon. Like I said, it's going to be 48 hours, I believe midnight to midnight. I will actually be there during certain parts of it myself. So if you can check it out, please do so. They'll be playing video games like the entire time.
Sorry if I broke your eardrums. Later, taters.
Thank you guys, everybody, for joining us. We'll see you back next week for the next episode of KyuuRanger, or we will see you tomorrow for Kamen Rider Build. Like I said, be sure to check out all that out. We'll have it either in the description or in the comments. Be sure to check. And on that note, see you guys later. Thank you guys very much for joining.